Good morning, computer world. How is everybody today? I'm a big believer on some things and I'm not a believer on others. And one of the things I believe that you shouldn't put kitty litter into your toilet unless your toilet is an outhouse. Another thing I think you shouldn't do, but that's all up to you, and that's my only personal something or other. What do you call it? I don't have to be, and you don't have to be the smartest person in the world to do the right thing. Do you know what happens if you swallow a fly? You think you'll die, but maybe not today, but maybe in 30 or 40 or 50 years. But how will you know if it was the fly that made you die? Unless you decided to jump out of a plane and you tried to fly, then that's the fly you took. But how do you know it's not the fly on your jeans? You know, the zipper, they call it a fly. Marty McFly. Marty McFly, M&M. Market mover, market maker. M&M's melts in your mouth, not in your hands, right? Is it your hands that move the mouse that moves your mind. The elephant ears. The great big teeth you got, Granny, and the great big ears and the great big nose you got, Granny. You know what that nose can do, right? That nose can probe. We all know what probes are all about. Things I would do and things I wouldn't do. And it hurts me to say this because you never know. With all the bacteria, the new bacteria and viruses that are coming out, created by man, frozen in hell forever. Let's unfreeze a piece of hell. I believe the earth tilts and part of the Antarctica melts off. And the earth tilts and part of the Antarctica melts off. And by the time you realize what's going on, the earth is tilting back the other way, and what melted off is freezing, and what froze is melting off. What is hidden in the frozen tundra? What are we pulling out of the earth to cause disease that we weren't supposed to? In 2005, on the 5th of May of the 5th day of the 5th year of the 2005, on the 125th day, 5 times 5 times 5, I started to realize, or that was the juncture of the separation of where I actually started to realize before that, because everything was bigger. I mean, I would look at things and there would be, didn't know what was going on, and if I did know what was going on, it would have been so much better. If you think you're seeing things, if you think there's something crazy, that things are larger than life that you can't explain and it seems to be exciting, if you think they call that bipolar, forget it. Control your mental attitude towards new things. Don't eat 12 packages of M&Ms, even if you want and you're excited. Control it. It's all about that good vibration. The children are being born with that vibration, giving them that high, that smarts, that fast, into one world, into the next world, back to the earth. In and out to the spirit connection in the vines intertwining the Urantia world. Vaccines, another thing I wouldn't give my children, even though it might save them when they're 93 years old. You know, I know my grandma was saved by a vaccine at 99 years old. She lived till 104. No, she didn't. I'm only kidding. My grandmother was saved by the doctor's ingenious ways of curing her cancer. They never cured it, they removed it. How many times have you ever heard of cancer actually being cured without having an operation or a removal? How many times? Please tell me. Let me know. Let me know. My aunt had cancer when she was 92. Now she's 104. They didn't cure her, they took half her tongue out. Now she talks like this, but that's okay, because she remembers everything. Everything. Bless my Auntie Sadie. My Auntie Sadie and my Uncle Julius. Both alive, both over 95, one at 104, one at 96 or 98. Let the good heart and let the good vibration of the spirit connecting us to that altar world, that altar strength that alter. Vaccines? No way. No way, my friend. Anything that you're obligated to do? No way. Imagine, they obligate you to do it. They have the people fighting. They have us fighting with our neighbors. They don't tell us why they put out laws. They put out laws and they fight. 50 against 50. It should never be like that. If you're going to have a law, it's got to be like 75. There's got to be a real reason, not just a halfway point. I mean, I got a real reason for not putting a nail in my hand. I got a real reason of 75% plus. When you pass a test, when we went to school, 50% was good enough for passing. They put that in our mind. But 50% is never good enough for passing. It should be at least 75. And the only reason why 25% is missing? Because it was a mistake. And in fact, did you know that 75% is actually 50? That's right. 75 equals 50. And there's a numeric value. I hope I started this video. Yeah, I did. 75 is 50. Why? Because if you take 75 on this side, right? And you take 25 on this side, how much is 25 take away 75? It's 50. So the real mark of everything is 75. 3 out of 4 dentists said. 3 out of 4 fishermen were telling us a lie. 9 out of 10, 3 out of 10. Now, what I really like about this is something that I just go over things and I miss points. That between 0 and 25 is 1,225. 12 and a quarter times 2 is 25. Now, between 25 and 50 is 3750, and I like that number because that's the numeric value for time. Now, between 50 and 75 is 6225, and I like that number. Or is it 625? 625, right? 625. 1.25. Add 1.25 to 62.5, and you get 75. And I like that 1 1/4. 5 quarters, 1 1/4. I like that. 25 nickels. I like that. The earth, number 25. And then when you go between 75 and 100, 75 and 125 is 8750. And that 8750, 875, what I like about that is that in between 0 and 25, which is the beginning of the first quarter, and the end of the last quarter, okay, that they should match because they're like the reverse. So 875 and 125 should be actually the same. And the 875 and the 125 is because the 125 is all the difference of the in-between of 25, 50, 75, and 100. Are you confused? Coding, decoding. You like the black balls in my eye? They're there. I like to look at them. I like them. So anyways, it's a little bit confusing, but it's all about the gateway, 55. How do we create this 5 times 5 times 5? It's all about 7. 7 and 7 is 14, 1 and 4 is 5. 7 and 7 is 14, 1 and 4 is 5. 7 and 7 is 14, 1 and 4 is 5. 7 times 7, 49. 49 and 14, take it away, is 35. We got, oh, there's just so much to discuss. And a lot of people are going to come on and go, whoa, my God, what are you talking about? What's the difference? What is it going to do in my life? How am I going to make money? Well, I know while you're making money, in most situations, you ain't having fun. But sometimes you are. But all you're thinking about is making money. But if you're making money all the time, or just doing something where you're not interacting with other people, or even if you are interacting with other people, but if you're not enjoying yourself, but you can't always enjoy yourself, you can't always get that high, because then you'll always have that low. I want to feel great. I want to be a heartbeat. Vaccines. No. Read. Where did the vaccines come from? Why are they creating it? Why do they want us to take it? Why are there more infant deaths now than ever before? I think they call it the SISP or ISSP. All the media, all the internet, things that keep us away from the street, things that keep us away from interacting. But then again, I fall back on this vaccine thing. I don't like vaccines. I don't like chemtrails. I don't like fluoride in my water. I don't like obligations that are not 100% decided on the reality for the benefit of everybody, and anything forced on anybody doesn't really make any sense. Unless you can explain. I mean, imagine you drive down the street, a policeman stops you. Everything that policeman says to you has nothing to do with how he feels. Most of that comes out of the book that we're taught. What does it say in the book? How should I be with these people that I'm pulling over? Well, sir, I'm pulling you over not because of 50% of what I think, but because of 100% that you were speeding. Because of 100% that you didn't stop at the stop sign. But when they come up to you is, hi, sir, how are you? But they got to be cautious, because some people... Anyways, vaccines. Now, I just stop with everything. I believe that everything we ever do, that our eyes see, that our ears hear, and that our nose smell, goes into a big picture, into a big book inside the Matrix, and into the iPod world. Siri, Android, we're androids and Siris, we're a series of androids, right? And it comes in from another world on the grapevine, right? Why do they call it the grapevine? Why do they call it the grapevine? So now we have to start learning a little bit about the grapevine, how it interacts with the computer world, or electronic or movement or something. Everything, words are all connected to a vibration, connected to, like, how am I talking? How do I remember? How can I even think of any of these words to say? Because of the interior force and the exterior force. And it's all about the loop. Imagine if there was a dot in the center right here, and this dot can read everything that goes around it. But if I just pass by the dot this way, the dot will just, whoop, I only read it for a half a second. But if you take it, and I go around the dot this way, so it reads going around and this way. It gives me a time period, like streaming. And now it goes around this one, and then it continues on. And then then there's another one here, and it goes around, and then there's another one here. So it goes along the route, goes around, continues on, goes around, and you keep reading the reels as they go along, and they can change those reels, changing your thought patterns. I know most people didn't listen, didn't watch, or just probably shut it off to now. It's like the Atlas route there, up there, like the root canal, I don't know. Raphael, 7286, coming to you from the House of Paint. Thank you for watching this video. Is it a bear? Is it the dragon, the M&M, or is it the bull? Thank you for watching this video.